I'm joined now by 2024 FEL Sports Car Championship Canada GT4 class champion Jack Polito to talk about the 2024 racing season where he won his second consecutive championship. So let's start with CTMP as the track that bookended the five-event, 10-race calendar. You continued your perfect streak there to 11 straight wins at the track before a fuel pressure issue sidelined you in the season finale. So how special was it to sort of keep your success going at your home track?
Yeah, it was definitely an amazing feeling for sure. I never even really considered the fact that I had such a good streak going on there until like closer to the end of the season. But it was definitely something pretty cool to have. We had that fuel pressure issue with the car, which is what it is. Stuff like that happens all the time, but not much you can do. I mean, I was out there, so I was happy with I was okay with how the race ended. It wasn't obviously how I wanted it to end, but I was content with myself. I know I had driven really hard, and yeah, the gap definitely backed me up on that until I lost it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps the most adversity you had was with your other DNF this season at GP3R, the first race there, contact with another driver, and then able to get the car repaired. And you went out and won the second race. So how difficult was that time in between races one and two there?
No, it wasn't too bad whatsoever. We had the car fixed with a couple hours left before the last race of the weekend. So yeah, I had contact corner one with one of the other drivers. A little bit of contact in the back end there, but it was actually at the end of the back straight where my race concluded because I didn't have enough brake temp and tire temp in my tires, and that caused me to go off the track. Like I didn't have enough stopping power essentially. So as soon as I hit the brakes, I was in ABS, and I knew by then. As soon as I hit the brakes, I knew that I was on my way to have a date with the wall a little bit. But it could have been a lot worse. So it was I'm content with how it happened.
All right, so I guess maybe one of those things looked worse than it perhaps was, and that was able to get the quick turnaround there. And I guess in the other street race, that was perhaps the best battle you had in class all season was with Justin Di Benedetto. Race one at the Indy Toronto. You were trading the lead there, and you ended up going on to win both races. How would you describe that weekend?
Well, it was actually such an amazing weekend. I love that weekend so much. I Yeah, it was an amazing weekend. So Justin and I definitely had some good battles there. Like right off the start on the first lap there in corner 10 or whatever, corner 10 or 9, I seen him dive on the inside, and I knew those Porsches had slightly better braking capabilities. So I was like, all right, if you want it, take it, man. I'm gonna be right behind you getting it back. So I had no problem with giving it up there. I knew I had the speed and stuff like that. So yeah, it is what it is. I just kept putting pressure on him. I knew I'm good at that, so I put the pressure on him, and it ended up working in my favor. Unfortunately, I don't like seeing anyone destroy their car, but it worked out for me, and I ended up winning that race. Going on to Sunday, Sunday was kind of like a kind of a joyride. As much as I don't want to sound cocky or anything like that, it was like Jared Odrick's one of his first time in the car, so he was a lot newer to the series and newer to the car. So as soon as I got a lead, I was able to like look at the scenery and stuff like that. I really took in that race on Sunday. I really took in like the view and like the spectators and everything because I know it might be one of my last times I ever raced at Toronto Indy. So I really took advantage of just feeling the track and just yeah, it was I had such an amazing weekend that weekend. It was really good, really solid.
Yeah, I guess that might have been even your first time really getting to relax, having battled with Nick Gallant the year prior. So
Yeah,
able to
yeah.
not have that.
It was my first time at that track where there's no one behind me or in front of me, so it was nice.
Definitely a good chance to soak that in, being such an
Yeah.
iconic race, big city. So you mentioned there Jared Odrick as well, and so a lot of new competitors he had to face. Di Benedetto moving up from TCR. You had
Mhm.
Caden Goodridge, so some different competitors in class, and of course racing against the TCR and TCA classes as well. So what was that competition like between some of the different drivers who perhaps you're not used to racing against?
No, it was good. Like I have a solid pace. I know I'm a good driver, and I believe in myself. So yeah, it was good. Like Caden put some pressure on me there in the first or the second day of the first weekend at CTMP. I clutched it though, which was really nice to have clutched that. But yeah, he put on some good pressure. Amazing drivers. They all have amazing accomplishments. I know Jared Odrick's a lot newer to car racing and stuff like that. He's doing really well in his TA2 stuff, so good for him. And I know Caden, I'm pretty sure, is going down to the States and stuff to do some racing. So good luck for him. I hope he does really well and stuff like that. I'm here selling cars, hustling, trying to make some money. So yeah, it's good. It's good. I had a great season. I didn't. Yeah, it was solid. I felt really good.
Yeah, you mentioned there your day job, and I know it's definitely a constant grind, 6 days a week. You mentioned at the Ford dealership and driving a Ford Mustang in this series with your family racing team. So 2 seasons now in the books, full seasons for you, both of which were GT4 championships there in the
Yeah,
SCCC. So how does it feel to have that back-to-back championship?
I couldn't ask for anything better. Like honestly, I said it at the banquet there this year. Every time I get in that car, I feel like a spaceship. Like I feel like an astronaut, sorry, getting into a spaceship. I'm so fortunate and lucky to be able to have the opportunity to drive in that car, and I really wanted to take advantage of that. Like my off seasons, I was not honestly, I maybe slacked a little bit, but getting into like closer to the season, I was grinding my cardio, making sure I was dialed for that car because I wanted to be mentally locked in for this year. And this year, I really met my expectations. So I was really happy with that.
And well, it's pretty early in the off season. It was interesting there. You said soaking in Toronto, perhaps one of the last times racing in that one. So do you have any plans? What are sort of those plans shaping up right now for the 2025 season?
Uh, you know, I don't know. Racing's very expensive, as everyone knows who's trying to get into racing or who is racing currently. So it's definitely something that we have to take into consideration. I got to run two back-to-back years of the FEL season, which was I couldn't ask for anything more. Just going forward, but like we didn't necessarily have a lot of sponsors backing us, so it was kind of out of our own funding and stuff like that. So you never know. I don't know. We always change our mind with all that stuff. You never know where I could go. I don't really have any. I don't really have any where I really want to go. Like you never know. Like it's kind of up for grabs. Like I did run in a TA2 car this season at the end of the season there just to get a feel for it. Was really happy with it. Did some good times and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. But whether I'm gonna go into TA2, that's not necessarily gonna happen. I just wanted to drive that car per se. But my like where me and my dad we had a long discussion. Like where I'm focused right now is the dealership. This is my future per se. So if I want to have a future in racing cars, I gotta lock this in, get really good at my job, and I can do what I want in the future going forward. I know we've talked about doing some regional stuff at Mosport, so you'll definitely see us at the Vintage Festival. I want to get my dad back in the car too. It's been a few years since he's been out of the car, so I want to watch my dad on, cheer him on, and yeah, just be. I still don't want to leave the racing like racing per se, but maybe step back for a little bit, let my dad do some racing, and you never know. I don't know what's gonna go on. He calls the shots, right? I'm just here grinding away, so no complaints. Whether I race or I don't, it's okay with me.
And perhaps opportunities there to race together. You'd mentioned
Yeah,
CASD Vintage Grand Prix. You never know, and that I'm sure would be an
yeah.
opportunity on the
You
bucket
might
list.
see us out there battling it out.
And yeah, that would be a cool thing for sure. So Jack Polito, 2024 champion in the GT4 class for the Sports Car Championship Canada. Thank you for speaking with me.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on here. I really appreciate it.